Hello and welcome to another episode of Douglasville Impact, our community podcast. I'm Jason Post, and I've got some friends joining me at the table today to talk about some fun stuff happening in and around the Douglasville community. So, joining me today is Miss Emily Hardaway.
Hi.
Excuse me. Miss Nia Williams.
Hey.
And our special guest today is Miss Pat Sendelbach.
Yes,
from the Master Gardeners. Mm-hmm. So she's going to tell us some awesome stuff happening with the Master Gardeners and what that organization does, and give us some tips for all of us non-green thumb people to stop killing all of our plants.
Yes, very excited.
Sounds like
and our
information
lawn
for
and our
me.
trees. So awesome. So hope everybody has had a good week. So we're going to jump right into it and talk about what events. We're going to start with events.
Sure.
All right. Emily's going to start us off with
dive
events.
on
So what we got coming up.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of really fun and exciting things coming up on Friday, November 18th, which is the Friday before Thanksgiving. So entering the holiday season, we're going to have Christmas trivia and bingo right out on the plaza. Nice. And it's going to start at 6 p.m. and there's going to be a time for Christmas trivia. And then with some great prizes and then
Always.
A few bingo games as well. And we're going to have Kumba Coffee out there selling hot chocolate and coffee. And Dreaming Sweets is going to be out there selling sweet treats. So
nice. Oh, they had that.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
They had the popcorn last time. They had all kinds of popcorn flavors last time. They were so good.
It was good, yeah. And to add an extra festive feel, all the lights are going to be out on O'Neill Plaza. Lots of big Christmas lights and decorations, and so it's going to be very festive and a lot of fun.
It looks nice out there already. They started going up this week.
I was going to say, it's coming along really well.
Yeah.
We wrapped up Stranger Things Day, and the lights went up.
Exactly. Yeah.
As soon as he came in Monday, they were out there putting it up.
They were like, it's time. It is the holidays. Yes.
I love it.
So
lights and all the trees.
Oh yeah. So it's
going to be joy out there too.
Yes, they have joy.
Right.
It's so fun. Yes, absolutely. And also that night, if you are a teen, our Parks Department is hosting a Teens Night Out at Hunter Park. Okay. And that's from 5 to 9, and they're going to have food and activities and games and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun as well. And then the next day. Yeah.
I'm not a teen. I can't go.
I know. So
I
know. Wish I could attend.
I'm far from eligible for that activity.
That's right. Yes. And then this is something you could participate in. The Saturday, November 19th, is the Family Wellness Walk at Hunter Park from 10 to 1. Yeah. And I think this is a national event where it's just trying to encourage families to get out, get active, go take a walk, and that's a great way to kick off Thanksgiving week. Yeah. Getting active.
I agree.
Getting rid of some, making room for
Prepare
all the
for
Thanksgiving
all the calories.
food.
My next walks will be walks for seconds.
That's right. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. So great chance to spend even more time with your family, for sure.
Oh, and the parks make it fun. They'll have some fun things going on to make it kind of a fun activity.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
They always have fun activities and things going on at their events, so it'll be a blast for sure. And then heading into December, on December 2nd, is our big Miracle on Main Street Christmas parade and tree lighting. And that's going to happen right here in downtown Douglasville at 6:30 p.m. So, yes.
So that's a big one. So we got a lot of stuff. We'll park here for a minute and unpack everything that's going to be happening that night. So obviously downtown will be looking awesome with all the lights and stuff. So come and enjoy the lights. But what else do we have going on? We got the Christmas parade.
So we have the Christmas parade.
Lighted Christmas parade, which is always awesome. This is one of my favorite parades that happens in the city because it's at night and all the floats are lit up. Yes. And it's festive. And we have really cool.
We have some marching bands and things like that are in, and it's just a lot of fun. Yeah. And then right after the parade is when we have the Christmas tree lighting. So there's the big Christmas tree that's right in front of the Douglasville Conference Center, and there's going to be a little ceremony to light that tree, and that will be really awesome.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yes, and then there's going to be live reindeer, so you can come and take your picture with live reindeer.
That's right.
There's going to be a Mistletoe Market on the plaza. So you can come stop by and check out holiday crafts or holiday items that you can buy.
Start
as
your shopping.
Gifts or
Hopefully you've already started, but yeah.
I know. Yeah. But for all you
do, I did a lot yesterday.
Yes. For all the those who like to procrastinate, you can get some gifts out on the plaza. And there's also going to be, again, Kumba Coffee selling hot chocolate, and Dreaming Sweets will be out there. And there's also going to be an opportunity for kids to write letters to Santa. And there's going to be some Christmas and holiday themed face painting provided by the Cultural Arts Council. Yeah. Our Parks Department will be out there also doing a craft. And the big news, Santa himself is going to be at the parade. Ooh, so
yes.
The big guy in person.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
So we had to pull a lot of strings to get him to come down from the North Pole, but he will be here in person, and he'll be in the parade, and then he'll also be available after the parade for photos.
Photos, yeah.
Yes, so your kids can come.
Free photos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Free photos. Yes.
Free photos with the big guy.
I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah.
So,
nice.
yes, and you can. Kids can tell them what they
Get
want.
their one-on-one
Christmas.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we're gonna have a lot going on that night.
It's a fun day.
Yes, it is.
And somehow it always snows.
It does.
It always snows for the Christmas parade.
You always
in downtown
show
Douglasville.
up.
Always.
You come to downtown Douglasville for a parade, there'll be snow on the ground.
There will be. And it was a miracle last year because it was 70 degrees that day.
It's magical.
And yet there was still snow.
Christmas
I think it
miracles.
follows Santa.
I think it does.
He brings a couple of reindeer down. It's a smaller sled. It's not full of all the stuff, so he just brings a couple of reindeer with the sled. When he flies down from the North Pole, I guess the snow just follows because it's always here when he comes.
It is, yes.
It looks really nice though. The downtown looks really awesome, covered in snow with all the lights.
Oh yeah, I mean you really
like the tree.
Christmas.
Yes. It's just
you really feel like you're in the North Pole.
You
for
do.
Sure. Yes. So, and on that note, also Santa is gonna be sticking around for the next day.
Okay, that's right.
Spending the night.
Yes, he is for breakfast with Santa on Saturday, December 3rd at Jesse Davis Park. Yes, the Hawthorne Center from 9 to 11. So I don't think it's too late to register to have breakfast with Santa.
Yeah.
So
love that.
You do need to register for that one though because it does fill up. There's limited space because it's inside and there's breakfast provided and stuff. So yeah.
Yes.
You have to register for that one.
Yes, but I mean lots of opportunities to see Santa. Yeah. Talk with Santa. Yes,
for free.
Exactly.
It's the right price.
That's right. Yes.
Love that.
Yes. So lots of fun.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a fun time of year with all the Christmas activities and stuff.
Yes.
So, and does that end? Does that wrap up our events for the year, for the season?
We do have a couple more things. On December 10th, our police department, they're throwing a Christmas festival.
That's right. Christmas festival at the PD.
From 4 to 8 down at their location. And then this is an event that I think is a great idea. On December 17th, our Parks Department is hosting a Parents' Night Out. So that is from 5 to 9 at Ike Owings Community Center at Hunter Park. And it is a great opportunity
for the real procrastinators.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
You've waited all the way until December 17th to do your shopping.
Right, yes.
Here's an opportunity.
Or
if you've already done your shopping.
Yeah.
Date night.
Or have a Christmas date night, or if you have a Christmas party that you need to go to, you can sign your kids up to be at Parents' Night Out, and our Parks Department does a great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they feed the kids, and they have games and activities and crafts and all sorts of fun stuff. So, I mean, it's just a great opportunity, just no matter what the reason. If you need to shop, if you want to do a date night, go to a Christmas party,
wrap some presents.
Yeah, whatever.
That's true. You may need to do some secret wrapping.
Yes.
Or you may just need a break from the craziness.
That too.
Exactly.
That too.
It's perfectly okay to go and drop your kids off and go home.
That's right. Yes.
And just hang out in peace and quiet.
Yes.
No judgment.
At all.
So you do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that kind of wraps
Not
up.
a bad idea.
Yeah. That kind of wraps up our events for the year. We
Nice.
do also have holiday closures that are going to be coming up soon as well for City Hall. So just to kind of quickly go through those. Thanksgiving is coming up soon, and on November 23rd, City Hall is going to close at noon. And then, of course, the day of Thanksgiving, the 24th, and that Friday, we're closed all day, both of those days. And then for Christmas, on December 22nd, City Hall again closes at noon. And then we're observing the holidays on the 23rd and the 26th. So City Hall is going to be closed both of those days, as well as December 30th and January 2nd. So that's a lot of info, but we'll say it again and we'll promote it. But
It's all on the website,
Yes,
on the
yes.
doors, and on social media.
Exactly.
So when the closures are,
Yeah.
and those are all city hall
yes,
and city offices. So
Yes.
parks.
Parks has a social posting, so check out for that, and I believe it'll also be on their doors as well. But they have some special closures as well.
Yeah.
Some of them will be similar to City Hall, but for any other ones,
Right.
check socials in the doors.
And as always, for all that specific info, any information about our events, whatever's happening in the city, you can always go to our website, douglasvillega.gov, to get all the information you need. And our social pages, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Nextdoor, LinkedIn. I mean, we're kind of everywhere.
We're everywhere.
So, yes, exactly. So
Absolutely.
so make sure you check us out in all those places, and I really hope that we're able to see all of our viewers, listeners, everybody out at our events this holiday season.
There's fun ones coming up. So.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
while you're on the city website looking at events, you'll also find a bunch of news and things that are happening around the community. So Miss Nia is going to tell us all about some exciting news and stuff that's been happening, right?
Yes.
So what's been going on?
So while we're on the topic of holiday season and Christmas things going on, one of my favorite projects is back this year for the kids, young and old, because I've had inquiries. Letters for Santa is back.
Oh,
The
that's
mailbox is out there. There's a sign right next to it. Once you fill out your letter and drop your letter, you need to scan the QR code to fill out some information to help Santa's elves. Kind of better direct how to help Santa with the letters.
Sure.
So follow the information on there. But the mailbox is now open. It officially opened this Monday, and the letter will be the mailbox will be closed. Santa told us December 14th.
Oh,
So
okay.
December 14th. All right.
Yes.
Nice.
for the
So get 'em
Douglasville
in.
region,
For
he has,
Douglasville.
he has to reach
so
everywhere.
Santa loves Douglasville. He loves
He
coming here and hanging out
does.
with us.
He
So
does.
we're able to do this special kind of hookup with the mailboxes and stuff, so we can hand deliver
Yes.
some letters and stuff and make it super easy for Douglasville because he just loves us.
He
Yes,
He loves coming out.
does.
So
Absolutely.
He
we
really
appreciate him
does.
making some
So-
special arrangements for us.
Yes.
So.
And there will be the section at the parade where
Yes.
they can write their letters.
Yes. So
as
even if you
well.
can't come during the week or any time at the Christmas parade, there will be a special station set up just for you to write your letter. to
Write your
Santa.
letter,
exactly.
drop them in the mailbox.
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome.
So that's coming up.
And he does a great job with responding to most of those.
He
I mean,
does.
it's one thing to write a letter to Santa, but since you're in Douglasville and Douglasville's got the Santa connection,
That's right.
he does a good job and he responds to almost every one of those letters that come in.
Yes.
Which is a lot.
Every letter. It is a lot. Last year was a
So-
lot. So expecting that this year won't be any different.
Nice.
But Santa
Very
loves
nice.
it. So very excited for that. Also that's out now is the Winter Impact newsletter.
Yes.
So you can find that with all the holiday information, as well as any more upcoming events and news. Also some special highlights. We've highlighted some of our Douglasville citizens in the newsletter. So just something fun to check out and a deeper dive into Douglasville and also
Yeah.
the citizens.
So those are quarterly. So that one just came out. So it'll cover everything from November, December, all the way through January.
Yep.
Lots of.
Yes.
So information to start out the new year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Along with one of the events that'll be coming up in January, which is the Bring the Tree to the Chipper. So
That's right.
Yes.
Bring one for the chipper.
Bring one for the
That's
chipper.
a big one.
Absolutely.
So that information for that is in there as well. And then the last piece of news that I have is that the final LCI open house will be Thursday, November 17th from 3 to 5 at the Douglasville Conference Center. So this is the last strategic planning meeting for the downtown center.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So and this has been a good one. I've been involved with most of these, so I can kind of explain it a little bit. So, what the strategic planning initiative implementation meetings are doing. So, over the past 5 years, we've done all these plans and studies, and I think they had a number. There were 200 plus plans that we've got to do all these different projects all around the city. So they're great plans that we've had developed. We've got to figure out how now to prioritize those plans and what should we do first. Should we start with, a north side redevelopment plan? Should we start focusing on pedestrian, bicycle and pedestrian pathways, connectivity? Should we do walking trails that connect our parks? Should we focus on developing, the Church Street business area? There's all these kind of different plans that have been going all over. So we've got to figure out, what do the citizens want us to focus on first? What is the most important? So this is the point. This is the opportunity for citizens to come out and say, you know what? These are the projects that matter to me, and these are the ones I think that would be the best for the city. These are the ones we need to focus on. And then we can prioritize budget dollars to go toward those projects. So, which is always good. We just election day was yesterday, so the next SPLOST actually passed. So we've got those big capital dollars that we can put into some of those projects. So we need to be able to prioritize them and figure out what the people want to see. Because we don't want to sit over here and just decide, what we want to do next. We want to do what citizens want to see in our community. That's what we're here for. Is we're here to serve
that live here.
What the citizens want to see. So this is the opportunity for citizens to come out, see all of the projects kind of laid out on the boards and explained, and say, yeah, this is the one that would affect me and my community, or me and my neighborhood, or this is what I would like to see. I'd like to see more bicycle paths, or I'd like to see more walking trails, or business community development, more parks in this area of the town, or something like that. So
this is your chance to get involved. Make your voice heard.
It's kind of exciting because there are a lot of really neat things going on. I love the stuff with the whole the New Horizons Northside redevelopment plan. Has a lot of really cool features in it. Developing that corridor from the new 92 at Jesse Davis Park all the way down to the train tracks there at Strickland. So between there's a lot of really great plans and ideas in that plan. So I really like that one and all the cool stuff there. But there's all kinds of plans to look at and say, this one should be a priority, or that one should be a priority. So really important to come out and be heard, get informed, get involved, make an impact. So this is your point to get involved.
Make an impact that matters.
That's right.
Because your life happens here.
That's right. Absolutely.
So those are coming up, and the last one is on the 17th at the Conference Center at 3 to 5. So come out and make your voice heard.
Yes. So that's all the news that I have
all the news
coming up.
Excellent. Good news.
There's always more forming, though. So
yeah. More on the way. All right. So Pat, thank you for kind of hanging out as we talked about events and news, but let's talk a little bit more about Master Gardeners and Pat Sendelbach and what all you do for our community. So start out with just telling us a little bit about Master Gardeners. What is the organization? What do you guys do? What is the main mission and vision of what you guys do in our community?
Okay. Master Gardeners is now an official association nonprofit, 501c3.
Right.
And we just accomplished that this year.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
And Master Gardeners is a formal program under the UGA Extension Office.
Right.
And it provides a formal setting, either online and in workshops that you attend. So there's a cost to enroll in this program. There's a handbook, and then of course the lab days or workshop days. And you attend those. There's a midterm and then there's a final. And you have to pass the final, and then you have to put in your hours to become a certified Master Gardener.
Nice.
And as somebody who moved here in 2011, this was a different part of the country for me. So I knew, while I love to garden, especially flowers, I knew that with this environment, I needed to learn a lot that I didn't know about. And so that program allowed me to really learn how to grow things here in the Georgia geography.
Yeah.
And so in completing the hours to become certified, there are 3 different areas. One is staffing a booth, and one of the examples of that is that at the farmers market twice a month for the last 2 or 3, well, for as long as it's been in existence, we have attended there. And sometimes we are able to answer questions. People walk up and say, well, I have trouble with this, or can you tell me how to do this better? We also offer demonstrations there. Nice. So that's one way that you can do that. Another way is by volunteering your hours we have a formal greenhouse, which is near Woody Fight. And in the greenhouse, we propagate plants, perennials. We also has started seed starting, in which we start seeds for both vegetables and herbs and flowers, and we sell those at our plant sale. Nice. Another way that you can earn hours is by volunteering at one of the many projects we have here in Douglasville. And the other option is volunteering for a school garden. And we work with the 4-H agent there at the extension office to have schools where we go in and involve the kids. So we also maintain several butterfly gardens throughout Douglasville. So there are lots of opportunities for the newly educated Master Gardeners to become certified. And once they become certified, they receive an official certificate and an official name badge. Then to maintain that membership, they have to do risk management once a year, and they're required to do 10 hours of education so that you're constantly learning new things, and you have to volunteer 25 hours during that year. It goes by really fast. Yeah. If you find some place that you would really like to volunteer hours, whether it's a butterfly garden, with greenhouse, volunteering to staff the community garden, helping out at the extension office. When I first started as a Master Gardener, we partially staffed the extension office by answering emails, walk-ins, people with problems, and we would do the research and get back to them. So that took a little burden off some of the people in the office, so that we could do that for them. Yeah, nice. And so we are active throughout the Douglasville area. We maintain these butterfly gardens. For example, there's one at the Woody Fight Center. They are throughout the city. The Master Gardeners initially did the landscaping plans for the Freedom Island. I personally developed the butterfly garden in front of the extension office. My husband helps me with that, and he's not a member, but he's an associate. So people who want to volunteer or just work with this side by side can either do that on a published date, or they can become an associate where, we have to have them apply. And we welcome anybody who really wants to come and work with us. So one of the things that we teach, we will be offering a class in March, is the seed starting. Teaching people how to use what they call a cell pack, the seed starting soil. And the cost is going to be $20 or $25, which only covers the cost of materials. Then the people who attend that seed starting, they'll be learning right alongside us as we start our seed starting for all the things that we plan. And then they can take that home and grow their own seedlings that they can develop. You don't have to live in a house and have an in-ground garden. Right. You can grow in pots.
Yes.
In fact, we really promote that for apartment dwellers or people that don't feel that they can do that outside. So we also provide seedlings for the extension office, where they do gift bags through the food pantries in the spring and in the fall. So, in the spring, we grow the tomato seedlings. I think he offers cucumbers, eggplant, a few others. And in the fall, we offer broccoli, cabbage, things that will grow in the fall through mild frost. Right. So depending on the year we're having, you can grow certain vegetables throughout most of the winter. Yeah. Last year, I had Swiss chard that went all the way through the winter, so we constantly had fresh vegetables, and it continued until it finally grew itself out in the middle of summer when it was so hot. So, but
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so taking the class is really the first part. If you're not able to afford to take the class, you can start by volunteering at one of our projects. And once you volunteered a certain number of hours, then you qualify for free tuition, which the Master Gardeners pay, so that somebody who can't afford it can still join and take the formal class and become certified.
That's great.
So, this year we also donated $500 to the 4-H so that they could use that for all of the children who went to the 4-H camp.
Oh, nice.
And so we continue that. We also want to develop a scholarship program for the high school students so that they can have extra funds, especially if they're majoring in horticulture. Mm-hmm. So, and we know that Alexander High School has quite a horticultural program. So, that's one area that we'd like to work on. We have had participated in the Penny Hydrangea Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, we try to maintain as much visibility as we can. Yeah. We are the volunteer arm for the Extension office, but we're also a formal organization, so that that allows us to apply for grants and other avenues. And we spend the money that we raise on those gardens, on those projects. Yeah. And so, like, we maintain the children's library gardens, both at Selman Street and in Lithia Springs. Nice. So one of our new Master Gardeners, she is a librarian at Lithia Springs. And so she helped with some funding to develop a children's garden there. Mm-hmm. And once a month, she offers something plant-based, gardening-based for the community in the Lithia Springs area. Wow. So, our members
are busy.
Although I have to tell you that our numbers dropped because of COVID.
Sure.
And like anything, it's an activity. So some people age out. Right. And we try to add people every year by taking that Master Gardener class. The deadline for registering for that Master Gardener class will be coming up in a couple of weeks. So if anybody is interested in taking that course or qualifying for the free tuition, they need to contact the UGA Extension office and speak to either Sally, the administrative assistant, or Kevin Livingston. And there's a certain application process. And then it also involves interviews before the class actually starts. But you just learn so much through that program. So almost all of your questions are answered then. And if not then, in the workshops where you go into the lab, like going into the greenhouse, going down to Griffin to the University of Georgia campus. So, and that's a great program. We've had several people who've taken the Master Naturalist class who then said, I want to take the Master Gardener class. So, it can connect you with a lot of other people. Mm-hmm. We also have connections with the Young Farmer program in South Fulton. So we get to interact with a lot of people in our community.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely, because you guys are everywhere. So
we go as many places as we can. We are limited, though. Right now, we have 32 official members, active members.
Yeah.
So we do a lot with the people that we have.
You do a lot with that number.
We
'Cause
certainly do.
every time there's a project that comes up that has anything to do with gardens or flowers or nature anywhere, Keep Douglasville Beautiful is involved, UGA Extension Office is involved, and Master Gardeners are involved. They're
That's right.
always on the list.
Yeah.
It's always you guys out there with your hands in the dirt, getting the work done.
And gardening is one of the best stress relievers there is.
Yeah.
I'm a retired nurse, and I worked in a very high-risk area. And for me, getting off work and putting my fingers in the dirt in Mother Earth was one of the most stress-relieving activities. It's just incredible for adults and for children, because our children are exposed to a lot of environments that cause them to be stressful.
Yeah.
And so, and it's a lifelong interest. So that you can start as a child and have a certain area and then continue and move on to that area or go beyond that as you get to the older age. And even when you are not physically able to do the work in a garden, writing articles for the newspaper. In fact, Marjorie Stansel's been recognized for the articles she writes in Chapel Hill News and in the Sentinel. And we were recognized by the state of Georgia, the state organization, for her contribution that way.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so we have some unique members here in Douglasville that try to bring awareness to our activities.
That's great.
Yeah, and you guys do so much. So let's start with the class. Let's talk about the class. So the class is pretty much where people will start. So if they're interested in learning more, if they just can't, if they want to be play in the dirt and then do all the fun gardening stuff, and they just don't know how, and they're not, okay, it's me. They get involved starting off with the class, right? So how many times is it a year-long class? How long is the class itself?
It usually starts in February.
Okay.
Once a week.
Okay.
And the timing is it's a combination of Zoom and you can watch those classes later. You have to read the chapters. There's a quiz at the end of every chapter. And not to be intimidated, but the book is about that thick. I'm looking at about 3 inches. And you don't cover everything in the book, but that's your handbook.
And it's good to have that.
We refer to that. A lot of us refer to that continually. And it was just updated, I believe, within the past 18 months. So, and you have a lecture. Every single week you have a lecture. And it's the class is like, I'm thinking 3 to 4 hours, and there's a break in there. But you have lecturers who come, and generally those are extension agents from throughout the area, and they all have specialties. For example, Kevin Livingston's specialty is turf or grass.
Okay.
That's his specialty area. And some of the other extension agents, their specialty is in entomology or insects. We have people from the state who can be guest lecturers. So you get to meet other extension agents from the counties around us and what their specialties are. And so that would include one class. And then the following week it would be several more chapters and then guest lecturers. And they're usually 1 to 2 depending on their subject matter.
Yeah.
And as I said before, there's a midterm, and then there's the final class. Now, sprinkled in there are those workshops. For example, this past year they did one workshop in our greenhouse, and we always combine with Carrollton because we're more semi-rural and rural.
Right.
So we don't have as many people. So the two counties, we work together. And so some activities are at the Carrollton 4-H Center. Some activities are here in Douglasville. And so they met at the greenhouse, and we taught them how to propagate plants. Mm-hmm. That is, how do you split a plant? How do you take cuttings off from it? What do you do next in order to get that plant to grow into a plant all by itself? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's a field trip, going to the university and seeing what is being done at the UGA the UGA Master Gardener Garden in Griffin. we've been to in the master that class. There's also a seed bank in Griffin, which a seed bank means that those are seeds from around all the things that are grown or are native around our area, and they're stored in sub-freezing temperatures. And they're replenished about every 8 to 10 years to make sure that they're viable once they come out of that deep freeze. Yeah. So there are hands-on activities as well as the book learning. Yeah. So it's a combination.
So you said the class starts in February. What is it? Does it last a year, or
it'll last until about mid-April.
Mid-April. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
And that's perfect timing because that's when you want to have prepared your garden and decided what you want to plant in your garden.
Yeah. Perfect.
April 15th is the last frost date for Georgia.
Okay.
So you should be safe putting out seedlings outside after April 15th. But
good to know.
A couple years ago, we did have a frost on April 30th.
It's Georgia, so you never know.
Right. Yes. So you have to pay
crazy
attention.
weather.
Pay attention to, the weather forecast. So you could just cover them up with just even some plastic or, even a paper bag or something. But generally, April 15th is considered our frost date.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and so you would take that class and then you'd be prepared to start your own garden. And then the state offers a monthly program for in-service. So, for example, last February, I signed up to take a firescaping class. And that taught me a lot. I mean, I learned so much about what is your fire risk. This past couple of years, we've heard a lot about these massive forest fires.
Right.
And you actually have a workbook, and you had to, how far away is your wood pile from your house? How many trees overhang your house? What do you have growing close to your house if you have gardens or landscaping around your house? And so you actually have to calculate the risk to your home from a forest fire.
Interesting.
So
that is interesting.
So I did. I really learned a lot.
Yeah.
And that was worth, I think, 8 or 10 hours of education because it was multiple weeks. Yeah. Sometimes they offer a one-day program. So, 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon. And so that's been mostly Zoom because of COVID, but it'll probably resume a combination again in the year coming. Nice. They also do one leadership training class every year so that new members can assume leadership of a project or become a county leader and or move on to the state.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you can go and get all the training and become the expert master gardener. And now is the class focused on our region? Or is it general knowledge all over?
It covers the state of Georgia, but specifically our region. And we are in what's called 7B. And that's important because of that frost date and also the tolerance of plants. So something that grows from 3 to 6, well, you're outside the zone. Yeah. Now, you could try it. There's nothing wrong in trying, but it may not be successful. And you can actually create a small environment around your house that makes maybe a tropical plant survive a lot longer than if you planted it in a different part of your yard.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So that's look. I'm not a gardener for sure. Yeah. We normally go in the spring. We go out to Home Depot or one of the garden centers and get some plants to plant around. And it's always got the little numbers. It'll say so. This is an annual in this zone, and maybe it's a perennial in a different zone, right? Or something. So there's some plant we have on our front porch. I don't know if it's like a Nandina or something like. It's something that's meant to be just an annual where we are, but like if you're a little bit farther south in like Florida, it might be a perennial. Well, it's come back like 3 years in a row now. We haven't had a really, really cold like winter.
Right.
So maybe where it's tucked in the little cove on our front porch, it stays just warm enough.
Yeah. So
where it's come back. It's been great.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what we talk about with those mini environments. So the things that you wouldn't expect would come back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Very
and
cool.
that's the other thing too, that you can plan as you're taking that class. You can plan, where do I want to put perennials? Where do I want to put
Yeah.
annuals? So you get the biggest bang for your buck buying perennials.
Right.
Okay. And because they'll come back
Yeah.
year after year. You'll find out that while certain plants will come, bulbs will come back, others will not. So daffodils will survive fine around here. But if you want tulips, you will be lucky if they come back for the second year. It's just not cold enough for them. So, that helps you decide, well, that's the reason why such and such didn't work here last year.
Yeah.
And then you can decide that maybe there's some landscaping things that you'd rather get rid of. So, for example, when I moved into my house, there were a lot of overgrown lauropetalums. They look gorgeous when they blossom in the spring, but that's all I can say for them. So that was the first thing we dug out. The other thing is you find that you have to amend your soil. That means you have to dig around and add good soil to the clay that we live in.
Yes.
And if you amend your soil from the very beginning, you'll be much more successful.
Interesting.
Okay.
Another thing is that you have to have a rotation if you're using vegetables or annuals. You need to move it every 3 years. Otherwise, they become weakened and they're more susceptible to being infested with some kind of insect or fungus or anything.
Okay.
Right.
So one of the questions I answered this summer at the farmer's market was somebody was talking about their raised beds and they'd been growing such and such for like 3 years. And I said, well, now is the time to replace that soil because it's depleted
Yeah.
all of its good nutrients for growing plants. So if they didn't replace it, their plants wouldn't do well the next time.
Interesting.
Because it needs, that's why planting in the ground is really beneficial because you've got the nutrients and you're replacing them. Another thing that you find out is that you need to do a soil test. So
Heard
you
of that?
yes, and I think it costs $20 or $25, and you take a soil. They give the directions. You take it into the extension office. They send it to the main campus. It gets analyzed, and they email you about a week or two later with what is in your soil and what you need to add to improve it. And they give you very specific information.
Wow.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah. And that's really, really important if you want to be successful in
Right.
your growing.
I bet.
And it's not just the flowers and stuff like that. You mentioned that Kevin was an expert on turf.
Turf, yes.
So if you're like needing to figure out how do I thicken up my grass? I got some bald spots and patches, or I can't get this to grow, or something like that. You guys can help give us some directions on that, and when you need to do things like aeration and overseeding and fertilizing, and I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
And you
Sounds
said
good to
it's
me,
the
yeah.
class
Yeah.
gives you all that information.
because you can go
really
and Google
does.
it, but you got to be specific to where we are. So
Right.
Google's going to say,
Well,
yeah, do
yeah.
it here, but that's not for this area of
Georgia.
Georgia
Well,
necessarily.
And sometimes it's just nicer to just be able to talk to to just talk to somebody
Yeah.
who knows in person, and ask
And knows our
yeah,
environment and
yeah.
says, yeah,
Yes,
that's what it says
exactly.
for that area, but in Georgia, it doesn't really behave that way.
Yeah.
Or here's what you need to be doing. So
Yeah.
that's all really. Yeah. So the education stuff is awesome. Sounds like we all need to go take the class.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know in your description of all the stuff that you said volunteer dozens of times.
Yes.
But it's not like, so you've got some volunteer hours that you want to keep up your Master Gardener certification, but it's not like you're going out and helping somebody move. You're going out and you're playing in the dirt,
Yes.
right? You're
Yeah.
going out to the butterfly garden and helping to refresh some things or playing. I mean, it's nice, relaxing, de-stressing type volunteer hours, right? So
It is.
if it's something that would be super enjoyable to get your volunteer hours in.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine it being like, oh, I got to get my volunteer hours in. It's going to be more like, oh, I get to go do some more volunteer hours in the butterfly garden or the community garden. You guys help with the community garden over in the Mill Village area.
Yes.
That keep those little beautiful runs and stuff, right?
Over in Mill Village, we provide volunteer hours, and we help Chan Weeks with that
Right.
with that
Right.
project. And so when she calls upon us, we respond and we help her out. At the end of the summer, we removed the old vegetable plants that had finished and helped replenish, re-amend the soil so that in those raised beds, the plantings would be successful. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it was just like a one-time thing or twice a year. So we were glad to help her. She's been a wonderful contact for us for a lot of different
that's
things.
great.
Shanna's great.
Yeah.
And whenever we have Arbor Day activities, you guys are always out there involved, volunteering and teaching. We had the big day of service over at Douglas County High School where the Canopy Project, where they replanted all of the trees out front. You guys were instrumental in that, right?
Yes, and
You're always
we
there.
loaned some of our equipment. So, for example, at the greenhouse, we have, shovels and rakes. We've got wheelbarrows. And, if we're asked to lend them out, we're happy to do that because we support all the community activities.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
It's always good to see the master gardeners out there because beauty is coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautification is coming. So it's always good. Wow, that's a lot of information on the master gardeners and all that you guys do. Is all this available on the UGA Extension Office website? Is there a separate master gardeners website or?
Well, we have a Facebook page.
Okay.
And we also have a website. And it's
Perfect.
DC Master Gardener, capital D, capital C, M, capital M, and capital G.org. And then just Douglas County Master Gardener Association under the Facebook.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
So-
Excellent.
Yeah. That's great.
So they can visit the website and find out all about the upcoming courses, the deadline for registration that's coming up. So
Yep.
if they want to register for that February course,
And
go ahead and get on there.
and they need to go to the Extension Office
Okay.
to get the application for the Master Gardener class.
Perfect.
So they have to physically go into the office over here off of Church Street. That
Yes.
perfect.
Nice.
It's not church.
Or is it in the old courthouse still, or did they move?
No. They are over across from Gamble Sporting.
Gables. Yeah.
Sporting
Okay.
Goods.
Okay.
Okay.
So Senior
Gotcha.
Services is
Yes.
there, and it's
Yes.
it was actually an old hospital building.
Yeah.
We have Master Gardener who was actually born in that building when it was a
Wow.
hospital.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh wow.
Isn't that
Nice.
cool?
Very full
Yeah.
circle.
So that's the office.
Excellent. So you can go down there and fill out the application for the class.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. And go ahead and get into that February class so you can
Yes.
know what to do this springtime.
That's right.
When it rolls around.
And we'll have that seed starting class starting in March. So
Yeah.
you'll look around for social media, and we'll be posting about that probably starting after the first of the year.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that is a lot of information about the Master Gardeners. We
Wealth of
appreciate
knowledge.
all that the Master Gardeners does in the community just to
Yes.
help make Douglasville a beautiful place and help us to make our homes
Yeah.
and our
Absolutely.
yards
us
beautiful as well.
Yes.
And to de-stress, absolutely. That can't be over. We can't say that enough. It's a very relaxing thing. Mental wellness.
Oh, yes.
Getting out in the garden.
Yes.
We had someone who was volunteering as a Master Gardener, and he was interested in setting up a garden for children at a residential facility so that they could use that for their mental health.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's
we,
a great
We were
idea.
very supportive of that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, is there anything else that we need to talk about before we wrap up the show that you guys got? Anything coming up that people need to know about other than the class?
Oh, in February, we
Yeah.
will be selling Lenten roses for
Okay.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice.
And-
Okay. Sweet.
So that'll be also in the social media, and it'll basically be an online order process, and
Okay.
then you come through on February 11th and pick up your order.
Perfect.
So a new or different gift for Valentine's Day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Love that.
Well, okay, I'll have to keep an eye out for that one. Well, my wife listens to the show, so she already know about it, I guess. Never mind. I'm totally not going to do that. So, for anybody who's interested in those things and other things coming up, follow the Master Gardeners Association on Facebook, dcmastergardeners.org on the website for all the information, and find out all the awesome things that Miss Pat is doing in our community. So,
Yes.
thank you for coming out today and telling us all
Thank
about the
you.
stuff.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Informing us, and we'll see you out in the community as as we're
I'm
more
sure
of
they
those
will.
volunteer hours and stuff.
Yes.
So thank you all for joining us today and telling us about the events and news coming up as well. And thank you for everyone tuning in, listening and watching and learning all about the things going on in and around the Douglasville community. And we will see everybody next time on Douglasville Impact.
Bye.
Bye.